Company of Heroes 3 just launched a massive balance update, and if you didn't see my previous video, go check it out for the overarching sweeping updates to all of the factions. This video is going to focus on the updates to the US and the British, so this is our allies balance update video. And if you didn't, check out the other one. You can kind of see some of the other general gameplay changes. You won't want to miss those, so stay up to date with that. I'll also have another video where I go through all of the Axis changes, and we'll be trying it all out live on twitch.tv/FitzBro right after I upload this, so come hang out with us. Let's get into these US forces and British forces faction changes. US forces continue to struggle in team game modes where many of their advantages are less pronounced. Our focus for this patch has been to improve their mid-game options, reduce the price of certain upgrades, and strengthen their light vehicle play. Now be ready. I hope you guys are mathematicians, because there'll be lots of numbers flying around, and I don't have every single one exactly memorized. So if I misspeak on one of these, feel free to leave a polite clarification down in the comments. But there's going to be a lot of numbers here. So this is for the US diehards, you know. The 4x4 truck. 30 cal machine gun lethality has been increased. I'm going to try to overall just try to determine if this is a buff or a net nerf for the unit with all these numbers. The repair speed has been increased. Repair durations increase. See, that's a little, okay, from 10 to 15. Veteran ability to capture, decapture, increase. So overall, the 4x4 truck seems like it has been buffed. Advanced logistics. Manpower cost reduced from 250 to 200. So that's going to be cheaper. Advanced logistics is going to be buffed. Assault engineers. Reinforcement cost decreased from 25 to 23. So that's a very slight one, but it is a buff for assault engineers. Bazooka team. The destroy obstacles ability damage penalty against infantry is increased from 25 to 75%. So I think they don't want you using that destroy obstacles on infantry. And the white phosphorus rounds is going to cost an additional 10 munitions. So this is a bit of a, I would say, a nerf for the bazooka team, or at least they don't want you using it against infantry. It sounds like they want it to be expensive, and that, you know, you're probably focusing it. Well, I guess they want to use it, but it's just going to be more expensive. Engineer. Okay, reinforcement cost decreased from 25 to 23. So that's just a little cheaper, but engineers going to be buffed. Grenade package. Fuel cost decreased. That's significant. 10 fuel, because sometimes you don't get the grenade package because you just want to save that fuel for vehicles, but it's going to research faster and it's going to be a little cheaper. So grenade package, a little bit of buff there for the US forces. High velocity armor piercing rounds. That's going to be for the Sherman and the Hellcat. Can no longer pierce through shot blocking obstacles. Didn't even know it could do that before. The rounds can now use the reload times of the parent vehicle's main weapon. Does the general reload time decrease of 1 second, resulting in an increased rate of fire? That's really hard to calculate, but essentially it's going to fire a little bit faster, but it's not going to shoot through shot blocking obstacles. So I don't know. It's kind of a net. It's just going to be different, right? The 75mm gun motor carriage. We've adjusted the gun motor carriage to be geared to destroying lighter vehicles and providing fire support against units like dug-in infantry and heavy machine guns. Heavy machine guns are getting better. Gonna need some tools against them, right? Aim time has been decreased just a hair from 1 to 0.125. Oh, I guess that's quite a bit, actually. Barrage range decreased from 60 to 50. Okay, so it can't shoot as far. Oh, you can be closer to them. That's what it means. So that's a buff. Barrage recharge decrease. So, man, that comes in a lot faster. And they've changed the penetration. There's the values for those. Reload time. I mean, just across the board. Rotation time increased drastically. Motor carriage is going to be much stronger. This is a big buff for this vehicle. The M3 half-track. Conversion to M3 75 gun motor carriage decreased. And see, that was a big thing. You might not want to pick it up because it wasn't as strong before and it was more expensive. So now it's stronger and it's now cheaper to get to it. So could be big. Manpower cost decreased from 270 to 250, even cheaper. Non-converted form now gains shared veterancy. Okay. So M3 half-track buffed. Sherman Dozer, the bulldozer. We love the dozer. We always love the dozer. Manpower cost decreased from 420 to 400. It's a little cheaper. You might be able to get the bulldozer out there. Doze over those infantry. They're very good against them. M8 Greyhounds. That's a buff for the dozer. M8 Greyhound. These changes are tended to increase performance against infantry in open terrain. It's almost like they're really trying to make vehicles better against infantry. The age of machine guns and vehicles is upon us. Machine gun lethality increased by 10% in all ranges. The Pintle machine gun lethality increased by 20% in all ranges, and there's a speed increase. So Greyhound, buffed, particularly versus infantry, going to be very good. M8 Scott, barrage, minimum range decrease. That means you can be a little bit closer to use this. Cost decreased from 320 manpower and 60 fuel to 280 manpower and 50 fuel. So that barrage is going to be cheaper. Oh no, the cost rather. High explosive barrage reload time decreased. Okay, horizontal movement speed increase, reload time decrease, vertical weapon traverse speed. Okay, the M8 Scott has been buffed. Buffed. Multiple gun motor carriage, the M16. The armor decreased from 12.5 to 10, so it's going to have less armor. Can now use the prioritized vehicles. Damage against aircraft decreased. Woo! Decreased against aircraft damage by 77.5%. That's quite a bit. So not going to be as effective against air. Weapon penetration decreased. Obviously, that must have been a problem. So this thing has definitely been nerfed. The M16, nerfed. Okay, the M24 Chaffee light tank. These changes will make the units more effective at hunting down the other light vehicles, give it better maneuverability to flank heavier vehicles, and disengage from enemy tank threats. So they're obviously buffing this thing. Acceleration increased, deceleration increased, manpower costs reduced, medium vehicle pathing and medium crush. Okay, rotation increase, reload time decrease, speed increase. So Chaffee buffed across the board. Stonks are up for the Chaffee. Browning automatic rifles. So this is your upgrade for your rifleman. Research time decreased 45 to 30 seconds. So that's going to be even stronger. So it's a buff to infantry. Heavy machine gun team build time decreased from 45 to 30. Okay, so that's going to be building machine guns faster. They're buffing machine guns. Rifleman. Oh boy, there's a lot of things here. Let's see what they've done to our rifleman. Port Autumn has received heavy adjustments to its suppression. Previously, it allowed riflemen to win all infantry engagements through suppression while also receiving a damage boost. Browning automatic rifles also had their accuracy slightly increased to improve their effectiveness at range. Okay, so the Browning long-range lethality increased. Mid-range lethality increased, so Browning's going to be better. Port on ability. Wait. They didn't. Oh, I think this is supposed to be inside. That's going to be tabbed in one. Let's tab. Area suppression removed. Recharge time from 120 to 180 seconds. So they're nerfing Port on them. Wait, there's no suppression in now? Weapon suppression adjusted changes are a general decrease. Browning automatic rifle suppression decrease. Grand rifle suppression increased. Thompson SMG suppression decrease. So they basically have nerfed the Port on them. Looks like they've buffed Browning in general is what we're seeing here. Okay, lots of changes. That's the core unit for US, though. It's going to be a big change. Survival training. Fuel cost decreased from 80 to 50. This is your upgrade for your infantry. So, yeah, sometimes it was prohibitive. Like, do I want to upgrade my infantry or get my next vehicle faster? Oh, it now also applies to team weapon crews. So there you go. The Sherman. To differentiate the Easy 8 from regular Shermans, the high velocity armor piercing rounds ability now comes as default, while also retaining the regular Sherman veterancy abilities, giving the tank excellent flexibility and options. High velocity armor piercing rounds veteran ability is now a default ability, and the veterancy abilities change to match the standard Sherman, high explosive rounds, and white phosphorus. So it sounds like this is a buff for the M4A3E8 Sherman. That's a mouthful. And the Sherman Whiz Bang. We've only got to the units, folks. We still got battle groups. Can you believe it? So many changes. You can't say they ain't trying. There's definitely plenty of proof right here in the pudding. Cost reduced from 400 manpower and 100 fuel to 380 manpower and 80 fuel. Population cost decreased from 14 to 13. So the Whiz Bang is being buffed. Will we see some more Whiz Bang enjoyers out on the map? Oh boy, I'm getting excited, especially for team games. U.S. forces. Okay, those are the units. Whew, those units. Let's get on to the battle groups. Armored battle groups. Rapid production command point decreased from 1 to 0. Whoa. Seek and destroy command point cost increased from 2 to 3. That's nerfed. Strength and steel command point decreased from 2 to 1. Okay, so that's going to change up the armored battle group. Field repairs has been reworked to be easier to use and have greater impact. The ability duration has been increased. The health restored increased from 11 to 20 per second. So yeah, the field repairs are just going to be better, basically. Well, now activated vehicle is on the move. Oh, wow. It may just decrease from 125 to 100. So that's going to be a lot better for field repairs. Buff for the armored battle group. Sherman combat group. The cost of the combat group has been significantly reduced to better reflect the abilities of the Sherman Easy 8, its timing and its position in the battle group. So the cost has been decreased from 800, 120 to 640 to 100. So a little cheaper, especially in manpower. Command point has been decreased by 1. They now enter the field carrying a veteran level 1 assault engineer. Oh, nice. Instead of a standard rifleman. So it can repair itself. Special Operations Battle Group. Sherman Whizbang command point cost decreased from 6 to 5. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't change anything with the commandos being able to just like switch between bazookas and rifles without any cost, like instantly. I thought that would be there, but they didn't. Okay, those are all of the U.S. forces changes. We're not going to do Wehrmacht now. That's going to be another video. Let's find the British. Where are the British? British forces. Okay. This is part 2, British forces. Let's do it. This has been my favorite faction before. Even if you're an Allies enjoyer, do you like US or British better? It's been British, maybe because I really like the infantry blobs a little bit. I'm a little blob enjoyer, but I'm a bishop enjoyer. I like the dingo. I think the British are just my favorite. There's so many different things you can do with them. Let's see what they've done to my beautiful British forces. The British forces' dominance with massed infantry backed by powerful upgrades led to oppressive gameplay and reduced build and unit diversity. Oh boy, they're nerfing them. I can already tell they're nerfing my boys. We have significantly reduced the effectiveness of these strategies, requiring the faction to rely on combined arms to get the most out of their units. It means you can't just make infantry anymore. Wow. Bishop self-propelled gun. Recharge time increase from 30 to 45 seconds. So it's going to take longer to barrage with the bishop. Snoop is going to be sad to hear this. My bishop spamming days are being nerfed. The 5.5-inch artillery emplacement build time decreased. Yeah, it took a long time to build this before, so you'll be more likely to see this. This is definitely going to be, I think you're more likely to see these emplacements in team games particularly. So it's going to be quicker, quite quicker. Centaur has been improved to push the unit towards a mobile anti-infantry vehicle that deals steady damage to infantry while being able to disengage from most threats. Area of effect radius increased from 4 to 6. Okay, cost decreased slightly. Horizontal traverse speed increased. Reload speed decreased. Smoke shot now only fires 1 round. Speed increase. So Centaur has been buffed. Centaur stocks are up. The CMP-15 CWT AA truck. We have adjusted the A truck to primarily be geared to shooting down aircraft. Imagine that. We will be revisiting this unit in future updates, so maybe more to come on that one. The anti-aircraft range bonus from 600% to 1,000%. Beware, Luftwaffe. Putting you on notice. Horizontal traverse speed increased. Now deals additional damage against the aircraft, and the range has been reduced by 5. So the AA truck's going to be a little better at taking down planes. Pew pew. Commando light machine gun section. Manpower cost reduced. Like to see that. Population cost reduced as well. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that's... I think that's appropriate. That's good. Commandos, reinforcement cost decrease. Yeah, commandos were expensive for what they do. Like, they're decent, but they were pretty expensive before. Crusader 2. Fuel has been increased to better reflect the performance. So it's going to cost an additional 10 because the Crusader has been overperforming. The Dingo. What have they done to my Dingo gaming? You know, it's one of my favorite vehicles in the game. Coordinate barrage and decoy flare range decreased from 60 to 45. Dang it. So you have to get closer to call in those barrages. Oh, man. Coordinated barrage cost decreased, though. Ooh, okay. A little closer for a discount. Medical supplies duration has been increased from 15 to 45. Wow, that's a good buff. Distribute medical supplies recharge time decreased from 180 to 120. So that's a buff. Yeah, not too bad. Cheaper munitions, better medicals. You gotta get a little closer. I think it's a net buff. Other than that, range is gonna be a little scary. We'll see. Oh no, that's quite significant. We'll see. Infantry section. Okay, what have they done? Following changes now force infantry sections to be in cover to gain their Veterancy 1 ability bonuses, making them less effective when in the open. What? Base of Fire passive veteran ability now requires the unit to be in cover to activate. Coordinated barrage cost decreased from 45 to 35. That's big. I gotta read it one more time. They have to be in cover to gain their Veterancy 1 ability bonuses. So they don't want you just moving out, shooting everywhere, running around the map. So that's going to be a nerf there for the infantry section. Coordinated barrage cost has been decreased as well. Matilda, heavy tank. Population cost reduced by 1. Royal Engineer, build time increased by 4. Okay, so that's going to be a nerf for that. Buff for the Matilda. Training center upgrades. That's your upgrade for infantry. Provides excessive value for its cost. Could be confusing for players and enable veteran British units to heavily outscale their opponents. We have streamlined the combat bonuses to only apply once and remove the damage bonus. Significant reduction should maintain British units early to mid-game power, but result in a noticeable drop in late-game scaling. Combat bonuses now only apply once units with at least 1 level of veterancy. Damage bonuses from all upgrades removed. Damage bonuses. Upgrade no longer stacks per veterancy level. Now a consistent 10% bonus that is applied only once. So there's not going to be stacking infantry bonuses, which is probably why the infantry were so damn good. The Vicar heavy machine gun. Build time decreased. So that's a buff by 11 seconds. Okay, that's all the unit changes there. Let's get into the British Forces battle groups. Air and Sea battle group. Typhoon anti-tank loiter command cost increased from 3 to 5 for the AT loiter. That's a nerf to that. Increased bombing run command point cost increased from 1 to 3. Incendiary. Okay. Naval blockade duration reduced from 60 to 30 seconds. Okay, that's a nerf. Munitions cost reduced from 80 to 50. So they've nerfed all of this so far. The British Armored, that's one of my favorite. The Churchill Black Prince command point cost increased from 6 to 7. No! The poor Black Prince, making it more expensive. It was already expensive. Indian Artillery. These changes to the battle group reflect the power of volunteer infantry and its role as a middle to late game option that allows you to commit to the end of the battle group tree. War Cry and volunteer infantry positions swapped. Command point cost for both abilities unchanged. So now, instead of the War Cry being further down and volunteer infantry being at the top, it's going to be swapped. So that's going to be a big change to how this battle group plays. Cost increase for heavy mortar. They added a 20 fuel cost to it. Wow. British getting the Nerf hammer, huh? Man, oh man. Perimeter monitor. Cost increased. Okay, so I think it's safe to say British forces have been really, really nerfed. So it'll be very interesting to see. I mean, there's some slight buffs in some areas, but overall, most of these things were nerfs. It'll be interesting to see how the British play. We covered our U.S. forces, so that's going to be it for our Allies video of this balance update. Be on the lookout for my Axis video as well, where I'll go through the detailed updates for the Wehrmacht and the Afrika Korps. And join me in the Discord link down below and grab the Company of Heroes role. You can chat about Company of Heroes with, I've got channels for Axis and Allies, as well as looking for a groups role. And come join me over on twitch.tv/FitzBro, where we'll be trying all this out. We'll see how good the British actually are out on the ladder. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that subscribe button. thumbs up. I'll see you in the next one.